Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Startup Junkie. I'm your host, AJ, and of course, as you know, we come to you Monday through Friday, all right? We come to you with important information you need to know as an entrepreneur looking to start your business, or if you're an existing business owner looking to grow and scale your business. But oftentimes, when things affect you, when I say you, I mean your pocketbook, we come to you with what we call the state of play. All right. The state of play is what's going on in Congress, what's going on with the economy, and what's going on as it affects you in your health and your livelihood. And I can only say that today is one of the most fitting state of plays because it's really simple, all right? It's really simple. But before I get into that, I'm Anthony Johnson, your host. Most people call me AJ. Of course, you can catch the Startup Junkie live, multi-streaming across Facebook, YouTube, iHeart Media, as well as Spotify. That's the actual podcast. But multi-streaming live, video, live streams, videos daily. We're on YouTube, Facebook, IG Live, as well as Periscope/Twitter. So today, the state of play is an interesting one. All right, is an interesting one because it affects you and your pocketbook. Now, if many of you who don't know what today is the last day of the month. Today is July 31st. Today is the day when the boost to unemployment ends. You heard me right. The $600+ well, actually $600 each week boost that's on top of whatever your state is paying you in unemployment, it actually ends today. Yet, we are no close to actually having a deal between the House Democrats, the Senate, and the Oval, the current administration. We're no close. We were close, but no cigar. So, let me give you the state of play. As it turns out, and don't believe me, look it up for yourself. As it turns out, the current administration in the White House wanted to extend the $600 per week. For how long? We don't know, because it's a constant negotiation, right? The Democrats, for all my friends out there who say AJ is always leaning left, rejected that. They rejected it for various reasons. One, they said they will not negotiate, and this is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they will not negotiate on a piecemeal deal when they're saying that the Senate Republicans, they need to get their act together. In other words, the HEROES Act that was passed in the House on May 15th, months ago, basically outlines everything that is needed in the bill to the tune of $3.2 trillion. Only this week were proposals put forth by the Republicans in the Senate equating to a little bit over $1 trillion. And that little bit over $1 trillion included an unemployment boost of, wait for it, $200, or 70% of the wages you were making as an individual before we were thrust into this current environment. Please understand that this environment is not an environment of our own making. For example, taking it back to 2008, the economic crisis, where basically everyone was over leveraged with mortgage debt. This is an act of nature. So, to give you some perspective and why the Democrats rejected the offer of extending the unemployment boost for $600 each week, the perspective is simply this. They rejected it based on the fact that it does not go far enough. It does not extend far out. Because if you look at the HEROES Act, they were talking about this unemployment boost extending out to the early part of next year. Right? In addition to that, the reason why they're saying, hey, look, we don't want this, even though you're offering the short-term extension, and this is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to the current administration, we do not want what you're offering because, again, it does not go far enough. Now, I got to be honest with you. I understand that sometimes we need the money. We do need the money. When I say we, I mean people who have been furloughed, especially when the numbers have come out that 1.4 million people just again, and I say again because this is the second week in a row that it's happened, filed jobless claims, making a 52 to 53 week running total of 52 million hard-working Americans of all nationalities, of all religious backgrounds, either being furloughed or unemployed because of downsizing, needing some financial assistance. Now, many people have gone back to work, so technically we're a little bit over 30 million people in this country who are unemployed. But then, comparatively, look how many people we literally have of working age in this country. Then you do the percentage based on that. It's way too high. Way too high. So, just to give you some perspective, and to also let you know that what I'm about to share with you, this video, I literally held my phone up and recorded because this just happened on MSNBC, an interview basically giving you a deeper perspective on which position everyone is standing. When I say each position everyone is standing, I'm really talking about the three factions, and those factions are the administration, the Democrats, and the Republicans. In other words, the administration, the House, and the Senate. It's HEROES Act on the Democratic side versus the HEALS Act on the Republican side. The bad part about it is, once I share this video, which, by the way, honestly, I was trying to record it. It's terrible. Its angle is terrible. I don't even want you to care about that. I just want you to get the message. And then once I share that with you, I'm literally going to come back and I'm going to talk about the timeline and what you need to know and why this is so important to you as an individual. And I'm going to talk about the monies technically that the states already have. So with that said, I need you guys to check this out.
Started.
Deal for a one-week extension. Of course, in Congress time, there is still a lot of many hours left where something could happen. And of course, we've seen these negotiations go on until the final minutes here, and maybe we get some deadline deal. It's hard for anyone to know what's going to happen. But at this moment, the White House signaling that they're pretty far apart from the Democrats, and they don't see a deal coming together, at least at this time.
Well, what was the point of the news conference?
Well, we have Mark Meadows out there probably trying to turn the Democrats' hands when Kayleigh McEnany was asked what the message to the public is, what they should do if they're worried about losing their benefits. She said, call Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. So I think, we'll see what else comes out of this news briefing, but certainly an attempt by the White House to put the blame on the Democrats, which we have seen them do a number of times before when these deals fall through. And you never really, everybody sort of puts the blame where they want to put the blame in these situations.
Garrett, again, we're waiting for this hearing to commence after this 5-minute break. But with regards to this relief bill, are you hearing that this is something that could get done before the end of the day?
No, there's almost no chance of that. The Senate has already gone home. The House is slated to go home this afternoon after they vote on a couple more measures earlier today. And Craig, this is what a negotiation looks like when one side has all of the leverage. Remember, House Democrats passed their HEROES Act back in May. The Senate didn't even come up with a plan to start negotiating essentially until this Monday, and Democrats know that. Senate Republicans aren't on the same page with each other. It's never really clear if Meadows and Mnuchin are speaking for the White House, or if they're speaking for Senate Republicans, or if they're reliably speaking for either. And Democrats have basically said, we passed our bill. Where's your alternative? We've seen Republicans over the last 24 hours or so come up with multiple different sort of theoretical extensions of a short-term unemployment fix because they think that's one thing they all agree on, but it's not even really clear if that's the case. There have been Republican senators who say they don't want to spend $1 more on this. So the Republican side of the negotiations is such a mess. I had one Democratic aide said to a member of our team earlier, it's like trying to negotiate with a ghost. And so you would think that Democrats would have all the cards that they can play here, but also if the Republicans aren't unified in what exactly they want, it's kind of hard to even negotiate a deal, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's hard to negotiate a deal. But do understand, all right? Today is the day, right? Again, today is the day that everything ends. The economic unemployment boost of $600. Today is the day, all right? But so let's talk a little bit about this, right? So the state of play is this. They've gone home, meaning that nothing is really going to actually happen until Monday. But there is another problem. Technically, recess break is supposed to start next week, if I'm not mistaken, Monday for the Democrats. So you have all of these external factors, these things that are going on that are affecting you. I'm gonna have to switch cameras because it's important that you really feel me on this. All right. So you have all these different things that are going on. A week or so ago, the rent and mortgage moratorium, basically pausing all evictions, basically expired. The unemployment insurance boost expires today. There are many people on the right, Republicans, that are saying, well, guess what? We should do a piecemeal deal to where we just extend the unemployment insurance and not, give any more money to the states for schools opening, basically putting things into place to protect, children going back to school, employees going back to work. I mean, schools schools and universities, etc., right? And they're also saying that, wait a minute, we have all this money that's still out there. If you want to know where that money is, you need to contact your governor. Don't believe me, Google it for yourself. All right? You need to contact your governor if you're a local municipality looking for funding to actually help schools, okay? Looking to expand contact tracing, looking to put more money into hospitals for expanding of testing. You need to talk to your governor because they have the money already. We've already sent it. And this is the contention here. This is why Republicans really don't want to give more money. However, they do both recognize, and when I say both, I'm talking about Republicans as well as Democrats, HEROES Act versus HEALS Act, that there needs to be more checks, more $1,200 checks going out to people. In fact, the current administration is saying it needs to be more than $1,200, which I agree. It really needs to be more than $1,200. You can barely eat off of $1,200 a month, let alone pay all your bills and, try to pay rent. So I definitely agree. That's the one thing that me and the current administration agrees on, right? So the state of play is this. unless they have some kind of special session and they come back from recess, because remember, recess technically starts next week. The Senate has already gone home, meaning the Republicans, right? The ones who control the Senate. What's going to happen is they're going to have to get their ish together, and they're going to have to get together, and they're going to have to come up with something. Because if they don't, and this is just my opinion, and you say, AJ, I thought the Startup Junkie doesn't take a political position. You're all about business. You're all about, helping the startup or helping existing businesses grow to scale. Well, yes, we are. But we have to actually have an economy, as I said, because we're all connected that way, to actually come back to. So, my opinion is this. And drop your comment in the comment section. Please share this live stream, because I want to get your opinion. I want to base the content of what we share on this show around what you have to say. Now, my opinion is this, and my prediction is this. First, my opinion. They will work out something. One, the administration wants something to be worked out because this is an election year. You can't run on health. You have to run on the economy. And right now, the economy sucks. Okay? And you might be saying, whoa, AJ, there's no way that it sucks. Yeah, just because, some of the 4 of the main FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and not Netflix, but Google, all reported beating Street's expectations in terms of earnings and growing exponentially. They're technology companies. Of course, we're all staying at home. Of course, they're gonna have some profitability, right? But understand this: if a slew of evictions happens during the midst of a pandemic and millions of people are unemployed, you can best believe the current administration will not get reelected. So that is the motivation for the current administration. As far as the Senate side goes, the Senate and the Republicans, Heroes Act versus Heels Act, they realize that everyone is hurting. Yes, they have hearts, at least in my opinion. Some people don't. Within the factions, within the House and the Senate, some people don't have hearts. Meaning heart for, and this is just my opinion, heart for, to give, to make sure that everyone is, surviving and thriving in this country. Now, I've heard many of you, and you've jumped in my feed and you've added this, mainly people on the right, and you know who you are, that, well, why do we want to pay people to stay home? Why do we want to pay people more to stay home than to get back to work? Well, in each one of these acts, heroes versus heels, there are contingencies for that. But at the same time, if you listen to Steve Mnuchin, if you listen to Larry Kudlow, they realize that help is needed. However, if you take a deeper look and you pull back the covers and you take a deeper look, here's the one thing that you'll realize: that unemployment by state, all is not equal. For example, in some states, they only give you $155 a week. Other states, they give you $500+ a week, or $1,200, or whatever, right? But the point is this: if, and this has been said, and I've shared this with you in a video of other people saying it, right? People that are in power, if an extra $600 a week brings us to the pre-pandemic levels of spending, then it only makes sense to keep the $600 extra per week. Do we have the money? Of course we do. As I've shared with you many, many times, a federal chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has said, I have lending power. I have spending power. I mean, I don't have spending power. I have lending power. Here's the money if you need it. Not only for for, to boost the economy, but money to lend to Main Street businesses. And speaking of Main Street businesses, here's an interesting fact for all my friends out there who say AJ only swings to the left. And again, I tell you, I'm right down the middle. I apologize if I can't remember their names, but there are 2 Republicans in the Senate, and there is bipartisan support for this. For all those people who apply for the EIDL, emergency income disaster loan, that is probably most likely going to appear again in both bills, which it actually technically does, right? Well, when I say both bills, because technically both are not bills. On the Republican side, it's really a proposal, and that's the HEALS Act. There is an actual bill on the Democratic side, which is the HEROES Act. But listen to what the Republicans are saying. These 2 Republican senators are saying. They want the SBA to give the entire $10,000 grant advance of the EIDL loan to all those people who applied. So if you've applied and you receive money, you don't have to do anything else. Like, say, for example, if you receive $2,000, you most likely will get the other $8,000 if that gathers support and is passed into law. In addition to that, there are many people who were turned down for the loan because of credit. The new proposal is 570 and above is all you need in order to get the loan. Now, I'm going to cover the EIDL grant. I'm going to cover in SBA loans. I'm going to cover that in more detail in a later show. But I just wanted to at the very least, let you know about that. So, I'm going to switch cameras here, and I'm going to give you my final thought. All right? Here's my final thought. The state of play is simply this. You as an individual, you should call your congressperson and let your congressperson know they need to work. Let them know they need to work. Voice your opinion and let them know what you want. Because guess what? They actually work for you. The Congress works for you. The current administration works for you. You as the people have the power. A slew of evictions, millions of evictions, is bullshit. Cutting off the unemployment boost is crap. Let your congresspeople know. And believe it or not, I'm definitely not taking a political stance on this. I'm just looking at it purely from an economic standpoint. We're brothers, even if we don't agree. We're sisters, even if we don't agree. Whether you're on the right or the left or in the middle, doesn't matter. We're all connected economically, and we all deserve what we've been paying into for the longest time. All of your taxes that you pay, all of the taxes that you continue to pay, is really for a time just like now. So, God bless you, and I'm not trying to pull God out here, but if you're having a hard time right now, I wish you the very best. I'm your host of the Startup Junkie, AJ. We multi-stream across Facebook, YouTube, as well as Periscope/Twitter. Be sure to catch the Startup Junkie live podcast on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, as well as iHeart Media. Please, whatever you do, share this post. This has been the segment State of Play. Until tomorrow, everyone, or until the next time I see you. Don't know what the next topic will be, but you can best believe it will be relevant. Until next time, everyone, I'm out.